my gosh. Okay. I'm a little nervous. I'm Breezy.
I'm Jessica.
And honestly, we are just winging it today. We wanted to collaborate and just come and share space as two creators. And honestly, I don't even know where to start. I guess we could just tell them about what we do.
That works.
Okay.
A little background.
Well, for myself, I don't want to say I'm an herbalist because I'm self-taught, intuitively based, but I do have my own herbal company, and I create teas and natural body products. But most importantly, I like to focus on community and partnership with other people. So I allow myself to branch out and explore different things outside of my business. So I'm just in a space of creating and letting myself be, not with any labels in particular.
I like it.
And now Jessica can go.
Okay. All right. Do you have room? Okay.
Yes.
You can snuggle with me.
Okay.
So my name is Jessica again. I own Unspoken Echo. And what that is, it's just a place for me to hold space for y'all. So come in, talk about whatever's on your mind that day. Not necessarily like, it's similar to therapy, but not therapy in a sense of like, I'm not going to give you a diagnosis. I'm not going to send you off and tell you to go read a book. I'm not going to, do all the normal type of therapy things. It has a place and I think it's fantastic. But in here, it's more of, let's be real. What do we want to talk about? We can keep it very day-to-day life, and I can hold space for just the things that are happening. Or we can get a little bit out there and we can talk about spirit guides and past lives and all past life regression and how we talk to our past loved ones. And I can help you guys connect with whoever you want, right? So it's really just a space for you to come in and do what's on your mind that day, help release whatever's maybe bouncing around in your head. Those types of things.
Yeah, that's my jam right there, because I love to have these in-depth conversations, honestly. Me personally, I feel like a lot of people don't like to have these uncomfortable conversations, I feel like people like to keep stuff very surface level, and sometimes it can be that it's like avoidance, but then other times it's really because people don't understand to what extent they're receiving information. But me, I don't shy away from that. I definitely like to dive deep into the darkness of things. And I always tell people, like, I am no stranger to death and rebirth. Like, I'm always going through transitions and like periods of time where there's just uncertainty, and I like hibernate for long periods of time, and I have to like recharge myself, and it can come off like a depression or like kind of a dark space, but to me, I run towards it. Like, I don't hide or feel like I need a diagnosis with myself. I just have to allow myself to process the thoughts, the feelings, all the things. And it was awesome to even connect with Jessica because, you can talk to people that make you feel sane in a world of people that make you feel like you're kind of loony a little bit. But yes, I don't know. But when I was introduced to Jessica, she talked to me about her cosmic tea time and, the basis behind Unspoken Echo. And to be honest, I really loved the concept, especially in a world full of people that stick to labels and certifications. And it's just like, this is my thing. I am an intuitive person. A lot of stuff I can't even explain to people how I know. But it's like, I know. And I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all and I have all the answers. There's a difference. But it's just like sometimes we are put on this earth, and I don't even want to say sometimes. We are put on this earth with our own gifts and things that we bring to the table. And in all honesty, when some people pass on information, it's just to add to your back pocket. It's not like, oh, well, what is your certification? And you went to school for this. And, it's not always about that. But I was a school girly. I did go to school. I graduated, but I don't even use my degree.
Right.
I don't use it
Yeah.
for anything. And to be honest, I had said this before, but, a lot of people just try to breeze through school. Like,
check the box.
Yeah. Maybe you were an athlete or, your parents were very strict. They ran a strict program and you had no choice but to excel. But to be honest, even with me graduating in the top 15% of my class, I could not even tell you half of the stuff I even learned. I could not tell you right now in this day and age what I couldn't even help my child with their homework right now if that's where I was. But I'm a graduate, and that's what matters to people. It's the certification and the label. But with me, that doesn't matter. The person matters. The energy matters. You can literally use your discernment when talking to people with the information that they give you, because we receive information that way too. A lot of times the information is coming to you to be a message for you, but people don't even know they are the ones passing the message, through them to you.
We just get used like that, right?
Yeah, we do.
So you're put in the path that needs for that person, and you're used as kind of just a conduit.
Exactly.
Right? You're just used for that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And Jessica also talked to me about Akashic Records, and I know this might not be like something that you guys are familiar with. Well, actually, like, you want to tell them a little bit about Akashic Records?
Yeah. So I think of a huge library, and in each library, everybody has a book, right? And so within that book, it's actually your soul's life. So not you as you sit here today, but you as you live outside of today. Would include today too, but it's the whole thing. And so what you can actually do, and you can have somebody do it for you, or honestly, if you're somebody who can just get quiet with yourself, and there's a little like opening prayer that you use, asking for entry basically. And when you do that, you can actually go in and you can look at your own, right? There's, I don't like to say rules, but there's like etiquettes around, like, I wouldn't go in and look at Brezzey's without her saying, yes, please come in and look at mine.
Like universal law.
Yeah, universal law. That's a good way to say it. Yeah. And so, but the books just, they hold your life, right? And so I don't know if anybody's ever talked about or knows about soul contracts, right? So I imagine those books holding all those contracts. Here's why you're coming to Earth this time. Here's who you're going to help, who your soul family is going to be. Here's the things that you agreed to before even coming here. So it's funny how you talk about like I don't really need what did I really learn and all that stuff. When you come to Earth and you've already decided right before you even got here that your life has this meaning, this is the lesson I want to learn, these are the things I'm going to do, learning about it in a book isn't necessarily what you actually came to do. And so what you'll find is the thing you're supposed to do actually comes super easy to you.
Yeah.
You don't need a degree. You don't need the college to tell you, here, now you can go do this. Society might tell you that, but you and yourself, you already have those gifts because that's how you were born.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of the Akashic Records. They hold all that information for you. So if you have questions, you can go see, or if you're like, why in this life am I afraid all my teeth are going to fall out? I have a friend who asked me that one time, like, why am I so deathly afraid of my teeth falling out? And I was like, all right, we can go look at that. And so you can literally go into your old book and kind of look through it and say, was there something? Like, was there like it? We didn't find anything for her. I don't know why she's afraid of this, but she's afraid of her teeth. But it's just a place that you can go and get answers. More think past. There are like future. I mean, all of your soul's life is in there. sometimes you'll get told about your future, but most times it's more past. The future self is kind of if I have a question about like, should I do the thing?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get those answers, but only if you're ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one thing. It's like you have to be open and ready, and it has to be the time for you to know that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't read it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what she was saying, because I know that can be like very in depth for people that are unfamiliar with that aspect, but that is just to speak on the point of needing certifications and these kind of labels to things. You have to be able to open up your mind to understand that some of the information that you're going to get is like, yes, you can read a book. Like you had a video where you talked about sometimes you get information to just go to a page and then you read that page and it's like it's literally speaking to you like, okay, wow, this is a message I needed to read today. It literally just happens like that too, because books are tools, right? Everything is a tool that can be used to help you remember. And the Akashic records are simply like if you are truly in tune with yourself, or if you use someone else to help you get access to that, it's literally just there for you to remember self. But a lot of the answers that we seek outside of ourselves with other people or with going to school and getting certain certifications, you can actually do that yourself. And I was actually questioning myself about this, touching on this topic is like meditation, because I think a lot of people struggle with like what exactly meditation is, or they think about it too much, right? Because I think too much when I meditate sometimes, and I'm like, am I seeing something, or like am I creating that something in my head, or I can't shut my brain off to where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to focus on something that I'm seeking answers to. And so I know that a lot of people ask questions about like, oh, how do you meditate, or what is meditation? Do you have an aspect of that you feel?
I will say, yeah. So it's funny. Most people are like, my brain won't shut up for me to meditate. It's not supposed to shut up. It's supposed to continue to go.
Yes.
But where you can, a good way to say like, okay, is this my ego versus is this like a divine, like, entity,
message,
whatever you want to call it, message coming in. You can ask yourself like, so what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I'm telling myself, gosh, give me a good one. What comes in?
Let's say I'm trying to ask myself about my relationship.
Okay, that's a always good one. Okay, so our relationship. So if you're getting like, is this the right person? I feel like that's a lot of times like, oh my God, is there a better one out there? We're a society of what's greener over there, right? Versus being like, okay, if I water my plants over here, it'll grow and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So yes, I get that part. So if let's say one day he's just pissed you off, right? Mm-hmm. That partner is just on your last nerve. And so you're like, I'm gonna meditate about it.
Yes.
And all the negative things are coming in, right? And it's like, well, he does this and he does that. You know that's not it.
Yep. That's ego.
That's ego.
Yeah.
Anything what we would say, fear, anxiety, all of that is ego. Mm-hmm. All of that lives in your head versus in your soul world.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's things like that coming in, you can tell me that.
Yeah.
If it's like, I can't think of a good like. Okay, in my mind, I saw a purple elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm going to start to use my logic and go, why am I seeing a purple elephant? Am I supposed to go look for a purple elephant? What am I doing with a purple?
Yes.
Instead, you go, what if it's just a purple elephant?
Mm-hmm.
What if it just is, right? And you just let it go. Think about when you were a kid and before you were told like, oh, you can't, that's make believe, and oh, you shouldn't do this and all those things. Think about how much your imagination roamed.
Mm-hmm.
They say that kids are the closest to the spirit world, right?
Yes.
Because they haven't experienced and their ego's not built and they haven't been told all the things they can't be.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how creative they are. That's the same thing. So what you should be seeing or feeling when you meditate is all that creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as it's not a negative feeling running through you, the fear, the anxiety, those kinds of things, then you can assume that, yeah, this is something. Now, what's funny is, if you think purple elephant, why am I thinking about that? Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions any further than I've noticed it. I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Pay attention though in your day, because what might happen is when you're out at the grocery store, you might see a stuffed animal, right? And there's this little girl who's like throwing a fit. She wants a stuffed animal. There might just be something where maybe it's not the little girl, but maybe it's the mom who looks like she's about to lose her shit.
Yeah.
And just tell her, it's okay, I've been there.
Yeah.
You know, you're then put in that person's way, and what triggered your mind was the purple elephant.
Yeah.
So it's anything that comes in, just notice it.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I know a lot of times you talk about the flow.
Yeah.
Right? Just staying in the flow
state.
It's a flow state. And do
Yeah.
that when you meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Flow it. Don't use logic. That's the worst thing, because that's
Yes.
ego.
Yep, that's what I like to do.
Let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And honestly, because when we talk about ego a lot too, ego is not necessarily a bad thing. It is also a tool. Like, it's used to help protect you in certain situations, but also it can get in the way of things that's like, okay, you put it down. I always like to refer to anime, like I watch Naruto, and how Naruto has the 9 tails inside of his body. And even when you watch the show, you know, he meditates and he talks with 9 tails, which is the 9-tailed beast that's inside of his body. Okay. And he can literally awaken it. Well, at first he wasn't able to control it. Like, it would literally just come out, and if he didn't control it, it was going to consume him and kill him. But, you know, throughout the show, he learns how to become one with the 9-tailed beast, where now he learns how to just go in and out of himself. Yes. And he can activate it when he needs it as a tool. And so that's basically what we have to do. Because we have our own 9-tailed beast that's inside. They're all different aspects than somebody else's. But learning how to become one with that, and learning how to, what am I trying to say? Make it work for you in your favor when you need it is obviously when it's supposed to come out. But other times, yes, when you have these issues with your partner and you're meditating and you're like, all these things, like, I knew I wasn't supposed to be with him. I should have left him a long time ago. Like, that's all ego. When you can continue to go down this rabbit hole of negativity, that is the ego talking to you, right? Instead of, because you can't even picture, like, okay, you have to reason with yourself, because although you have 20 of these things that are now just front and center, it's bypassing the issues of yourself, like issues that you also need to take accountability of, that were cause and effect. And so when you are doing the meditation and you allow like that energy to pass as well, because you're probably in the heat of the moment too when you're trying to connect.
That's a good call out, because do you run your energy? Like, before you start to meditate, you got to get rid of all that crap, right? You've got to just let it go back into the earth and get rid of it, because that's a big one too. And there's time, I think we talked about this, like, there's times to do the full on, right? Full on meditation. And there's other times that you need to take a minute, call it daydreaming, call it whatever, but it's meditation, right? And in the moment, it's like, let me get back to me. Yes. Let me get out all the ache.
Yep. And you know what? Sometimes it can even be as simple as, like, you're cleaning your house. A lot of us, our home is a representation of the mind, and you have to get out the clutter, organize yourself, and then you'll notice, like, oh wow, once your space is clean, now your mind is clear. And then now maybe you are like, wow, good thing I didn't say anything to my partner while I was still mad, because now that I have came back down, I realized, like, ooh, okay, I probably could have addressed this situation a lot different than what I did. And some people may have a hard time with, like, addressing that too, because taking accountability is hard and it's uncomfortable sometimes. Yeah. But to be honest, if you value having partnerships with people, you do have to be able to be like, ooh, yeah, I do need to apologize, and I do need to take accountability for the energy that I put off. And to be honest, I had a friend that I was just talking with, and, you know, a lot of what they were saying was focused on, okay, so, you know, okay, if he's all good right now, then the moment that he starts acting like this, then I'm gonna leave. This is gonna be that time. I'm gonna leave.
Yep.
And I told her, I said, listen, you are focused too much on, okay, I got to get out of here. Like the mindset of what you are in right now. It's not. It's not. I don't want to say it's not correct, but I'm trying to get my words out. But basically, what I had told her was that she needed to focus the energy on herself, on self. So when you stop trying to seek the answers and be like, okay, is this the clear indicator of I need to leave? Like, this is the time I need to leave, or is it not? You need to be in tune with yourself. So you have to, because she was talking about, she's putting all of the work on him and not herself. So imagine you like to work out, or maybe you like to read books or journal or whatever, and you're not doing those things, right? You're not doing anything. You're sitting around the house, you're moping, and every day you're blaming other people. You have yourself in a victim mentality of like you're expecting someone to come and save you, and you're like, well, it's the partner, because if I had the right partner, then I wouldn't be like this. And that's the thing. You would be this exact person in a new relationship because you are the one coming to save you. If you're not doing the things that you say that you want to do, then you need to check yourself. And then when you check yourself and you get yourself out of that funk, then you see how the energy shifts, right? Then that's how you'll know if your partner is for you. Because then if you start working out and you're looking good, you're eating right, and if your partner is feeding off of that energy and he is also doing things like he's matching you, he's all of a sudden like you guys are on this alignment. It's I don't even know how to describe the feeling, but it feels good. Versus like if you're doing the thing and then your partner is like, well, where did all this come from? And you want to be like this. And like he starts to be like a hater, basically. Like then that is also your answer too. Like if your partner isn't feeding off of that good energy to also have the good energy, then that is your answer. But you have to get yourself out of that funk and stop asking the questions of, should I leave? Do I leave? Do I stay? Do I leave? Do I stay? Like, no, just focus on exactly the life that you want for yourself. And then when you start living that life for yourself, you decentralize the man and you centralize yourself. Then you get the answers. And that's it.
Yeah. Yes. And most of the time when you're already asking yourself, should I leave? Should I not leave? It's you should leave to work on yourself.
Yes.
And if you can do that in your relationship, I did that in my relationship because I was like, I know he's the one. I hate him right now.
Yeah.
But I know he is the right one. It's just a matter of I'm not the right one at this point in time.
Yes.
I knew, crap, like it's me. I'm lucky in the sense that like we have very much an independent relationship. So it's like we are two very individual people.
Yeah.
And then we get to come together when we want to, right? But if you're so conflicted in what you need to do for you, but you're basing it on somebody else, the answer is already you need to do it for you.
Yep.
You need to figure out yourself. And that doesn't mean that he's not the right one. It means that you're blocked in being able to take care of you because you're so I don't want to say obsessed, but you're so concerned about what he's doing that you can't focus on yourself. And then you're just losing it. And then you resentful and then it just like spirals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because another thing about relationships too is that everybody imagines that, based off of social media, it's going to be cookies and bubbles. Like literally you see, it's like nobody argues. They're just so perfect. And their man takes them on dates every weekend. They just have this great life. That is so false. And the thing about it is, it's just like with your friendships too. You guys will have the moments where it's like, we're not connecting right now, but it doesn't mean that it's not right for you. It just means that you guys are just not connecting, and maybe you just need to recharge. You need to allow yourself some space to do something. Maybe you've been putting off something that you really need to take care of for yourself because you've been so focused on this person that it's like, okay, yeah, now we're tired of each other, so we need a break. So, and that could be as small as like, you go upstairs, I'm downstairs, and I'm giving myself an hour. And then after you give yourself that time, then you realize like, oh wow, now I feel good, I feel recharged, and I can come back and we're good again. So yeah, it's really just about decentralizing men. And I think also when you say that, some people think like, oh, so now I like ignore my partner. That's not what the centralization means. It's literally just like, you're not waiting around all day, like passing your life away. And I'm speaking about this in personal terms because I became a stay-at-home mom with my son, and I would have those days where I would just sit there all day like, oh, he's leaving at 7 a.m. and now like he'll probably be home about 3 or 4, so I'm just gonna lounge around, pass the time away until it's 4 o'clock, and I would not be fulfilled in my day. I would not be fulfilled because my day literally was just focused on him. And then there would be hiccups in the day because it could be something like, oh wow, he's gonna get home early, perfect. And then the moment he calls and he's like, oh, they added another job, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I have to wait another hour or so, like who knows how long this will take, like oh my gosh, my life is over. Like oh my gosh, it is such a difficult space to be in, but I definitely sympathize with moms that are in that space because it is very hard, or just women in general. You don't even have to be a mom, but like that postpartum journey is very hard. It's very hard, and it's different for everybody. So I definitely learned how to not be judgmental in that space when it comes to women, because our minds, they play tricks on us. And wow, it's hard to be a woman. It's hard to be a woman.
Yeah, well, and we talk about you should take care of yourself. You should, and it's really easy to say those words. Really hard to execute because I don't know. From the amount of women I've talked to about this, so I won't say everybody, but from the amount of women I've talked to, it's very apparent that women were meant to be people pleasers.
Yep.
We were meant to take care of everybody else. We were never actually meant to take care of ourselves, right? Like that's the role, right? Yeah. You manage the household, you make sure everybody's good, and nowhere does it say, but make sure you're good too.
Yes.
And so we get wrapped up in the like, oh yeah, and then we start to put our worth on that. Well, now if our worth is based on how somebody else is acting, and our man is not acting happy, or why are you not excited to see me? Why aren't you happy to be home? Well, he's tired. Like shit, he just worked all day, right?
Yeah.
We start to say, oh, it's a reflection of us.
Yes.
Versus he's got his own shit.
Yep.
And so that's part of the problem too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that really is. And I actually had my partner sent me a video. This woman was talking about how she was saying women were making men weaker because they were trying to change the structure of how a man loves based off of a woman and what our needs are, and how sometimes we will say, your partner will come in the house and just like you said, he's tired, but you're like, you don't love me?
Yeah.
You don't love me? Like, you didn't even come in the house and give me a hug, and then like, I've been here all day, waiting around for you, and then, I've been performing. I cleaned, I cooked, and I did all the things, and then my partner didn't even come in the house and address me, and I'm not loved. Like, and so then the man is like, wait, what? Like, I don't understand. No, like, I was just tired. I just needed a second. I just wanted to sit down really quick. I do love you. I wanted to come and give you a hug in a second, after I gave myself some time. But, we base it off of like we are centralized in their world when it's not just so cut and dry. Like, just because he doesn't come right away and address you doesn't mean that your value is less. Because even sometimes I will have those moments where I just come in the house and I don't even speak. Yep. And then, but I'm so self-aware, my mind will be like, oh yeah, remember that time where you tried to get on him and now look at you, you're sitting in here not talking. Right? And I was like, imagine if he came over to you right now and said, so you don't love me? And you're like, what? You're mad at me because you didn't come talk to me? And then you would have to explain yourself right now because you just wanted a moment. Like, you just need a moment. You want to recharge.
Yep. Yep. We used to do decompression time. So when we both worked in a like corporate office, when we got home, it was like we knew the first 10 minutes and then walking in the door, like whoever was walking in the door, you get 10 minutes to decompress. Like you don't have to say anything to me. You can go to your room. You can just lay on the bed, whatever you need to do, but take your time.
Yeah.
Because then it removes that immediate, like, now I have to perform. Because think, he's coming in the door. He hasn't had time to think about you all day because he's been working, right? And there's other things taking up his mental state. And so to now I've got to walk in the door and perform because now he's the one on show. Because, well, you've been thinking about him all day long. Why aren't you happy to see me, right?
Yes,
and so, we used to, and I think that's something too, like when you're in a relationship, you have to remember a couple things. One, it's not, neither one of you is the problem. There's a problem. And it is your job as a couple to figure it out.
To find the solution.
How do we get through this? And just having those conversations like, you know what? It's not that I don't love you. It's that I need to decompress. Being able to say that to your partner is huge. But you have to be, as the partner, willing to hear it.
Yes.
And take it in and understand that it has nothing to do with you.
Yep.
Even though it feels like, a slap on the face. Like, why aren't you? Like, in the movie, they come in and they give them a big hug and they jump in their arms. Right?
Yes.
We don't live in a movie. Yeah.
No, seriously. Because also to piggyback off of that, when I talk to my partner sometimes, I find myself saying, what is the problem? Like,
you're such a solver.
We do it. We will literally have these bickering moments and I will just stop mid-sentence of us going back and forth. I'm like, what is the problem? What are we talking about right now? Like, this is a lot of emotion going on, a lot of rambling in circles. So what do we need? Because obviously there's some kind of disconnect. There's something that just happened and we're not getting to the solution. So you have to be able to like remove yourself from what is going on and then be like, okay, let's weed through this and where is the centralized issue right now. And sometimes you will find there just wasn't one. Like you were literally just bored.
You were both just hangry.
Yeah, you were hungry and you were bored. You've been sitting around the house all day and it just was convenient to just literally start bickering about stuff. And sometimes we just have those moments too, and we're like, "You're just talking," and then they're like, "Yeah, I know. Okay." Like to be able to just acknowledge, like, "Yes, I know. I need to go find something to do with myself."
Yeah.
And that happens, and it's just very human-like for us, and we just have to stop trying to look for the next best thing, or look for flaws in people just so that we can abandon them. Because I talked about that last time, being an extremist of one argument, and I'm like, I gotta go. This is just not for me. Like, no, you don't have to be an extremist because you're just trying to leave people before they leave you. And honestly, that's just operating out of fear. So, yeah. I don't know, what's something else we can talk about too? I think relationships is a big thing with people, but you talked to me about your corporate job a little bit, and that made me think about myself because I am not a corporate girly anymore. I was the one that was like, I'm leaving this world behind and I'm just going to be a free spirit and do me, and so it's like, how do you find balance with yourself still, like in that you know what? And some people have corporate jobs where they truly do enjoy it. Like, it has a good balance. So I feel like if you do have a corporate job that truly does take care of you mentally and financially, then I'm all for people having jobs. But I am the one where do not come and talk to me about your job and what they are doing to you, because I will be like, yeah, you need to quit.
Yeah, you need to get
You need to quit. You need to quit and find something else to do. And that is bad advice sometimes, because a lot of people, they don't operate the same as I do. We're all different. You know, some people do have like that entrepreneurial, blaze their own path energy. And then other people are literally like, I just want to be an employee. Like, I don't want to run my own show. I just want to chill and clock in and have that stability for myself. And that's also okay. But how do you find your balance?
So I'm in that weird like transition phase right now. So still have my corporate job, 40 hours a week there, and then I'm trying to also build this, right? My corporate job though, so for the most part, I've always enjoyed it. Not because it's, you know, I like people. I'm around people. So when COVID hit, it was a little weird because now I'm back at home and I don't get to the interaction, and then trying to go back to all the people. And at that point I had like an awakening. So now I'm like, why is everybody so loud? Like, why are all the energies hitting me? So that's been a little strange, but I enjoy, so I'm in risk and control, right? I love strategic thinking. I love process engineering. I love all those things. So corporate world right now is feeding that in my soul of like, oh, I get to solve problems. I get to help things where I wasn't doing good, and where it was kind of like, I feel like there was a push, and it was the push I needed to start this basically. But I was working 60 to 70 hours a week. I was completely mentally exhausted. I was taking it out on my family. I was like not a good person at that point. And that was when I was like, okay, this is no longer feeding my soul. It's feeding my bank account, but not feeding my soul. And that was when I was like, okay, that just means I'm in a season of my life. It's time to change. And so started to open this up, and now I'm still doing both. The goal is not always to do both, though. The goal is to leave corporate world and to find a way that this feeds the personal soul of like getting to talk to people, hold that space, but also gets to feed the strategic piece of me. And that can look at, I love teaching. I love helping people. Like, I don't know if it's classes. I don't know if it's a course. I don't know what it is, but there's like that next step that'll come with this, though, versus making money for somebody else. I found that when I got constraints within the corporate job is also where I wasn't happy. Like, I see the problem. Why aren't you letting me fix it? Why aren't you listening to me? I don't sit well with that. And so it's like, okay, I don't need to fix your corporate world. I need to fix the real world
and what I'm doing. What the output that I want to do in the world. Because I'm exactly that way too. I had always told myself, like, man, I could start a business where I literally come into somebody else's business and I can literally just analyze your whole business and tell you what you need to make improvements on so that you can be successful. But then it's like, you know, we're also in a world where it's, you know, you don't want to be judged by people to be like, well, who are you to tell me? But it's like, you know, some of us really do have that mind. Like, we are literally problem solvers, and that is how we should be used up in the world, is to solve problems. But sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out like what exactly that looks like for people. But like, especially for me in corporate world, I was being drained in like the productivity piece. I'm not the same person every single day. And so like to have like, we got to do cold calling and, you know, we have a quota to hit. I'm here like, dude, I do not care about this quota. I do not care that you want me to have X amount of people signed up for your program, that a program that I can't even wholeheartedly talk to you about because I don't even really believe in it. I'm just doing it because it pays me Like it was just hard because, and you have that push. Again, I had a strict program at home, and so my expectation from my family was that I have my big girl job, and this is what I need to stick to. This is how you make it in the world. And for some reason, my spirit was like, no, girl, this might be how they tell you make it in the world, but unfortunately, we are going nowhere fast with this job. And it feeds your bank account, but you are still stressed. You are still unhappy.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I literally had just quit. I had no plan. And that's the crazy part too, is because I cannot explain it to people how my life is set up, but things happen for me. And I do try to explain it to other people because I do believe it for them as well. But if you are truly in alignment with yourself, if you are setting yourself up to do the work that you are brought here to do, things will just happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, I had got $20,000 in my bank account one day and I'm like, what the heck? But it shows up in different ways. Like, you literally could owe a debt and then it like disappears, but like you don't know how to explain it, and it could disappear because, like, I don't know, somebody had paid for it, or just maybe you applied for a credit card and your credit line was exceeded more than that. Like, it shows up in different ways, but you just have to be logically aware of like what is going on, especially just being financially literate. That was one of the big things too, was I had to learn how to become more financially literate, because it's not about, just spending your money willy-nilly and not caring about anything. Like, no, it was like when I would receive money, yes, I'm equally giving it, whether it's like to my community or to people, but at the same time, it's like, okay, when you're receiving money, what are ways that you are being wasteful? Like, a lot of people do retail therapy, or we're emotional eaters. That stuff will also put a hindrance on your money blockages, because that is a time where you are supposed to connect with yourself. Yeah. You're not supposed to be like, I'm sad, I need to eat 10 donuts, so let me just go.
Read a journal.
Let me go get my donuts. Like, no, now you wasted $12 on those donuts when you really just needed to journal and sit with yourself. And then it's like your money is fine. And a lot of people they always stress about finances. We always stress about finances.
I have some golden handcuffs on right now. Like, literally, that's what it is, because it's the corporate world pays so well. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but how am I going to make the same? And then when I sit back and I go, well, I don't need to make that. Yeah. Right? I don't need to make what I make today in my corporate job. I need to instead understand that money flows. Yes. I have to be willing to accept, but I have to be willing to spend. And when you start holding too much of it, it's good to be logical, like you're saying. Yes. It is good to put some away for a rainy day. It is good, but it is very important to also give back, because money in itself, money needs us, right? We don't need money. Money needs us. I saw that the other day and I was like, why did that never click before, Yeah, literally. It's no good. If I have a $5 bill sitting there, it's just the money can't do anything without us. And so it has to be like, what's right for us? Mm-hmm. And we don't need all the things we think we need. The flashy cars, all the things that, if it makes you feel good, then it's right. Yep. Right? Like, if you, I think I've seen you talk about your brows, which, by the way, love them. And that makes you feel good. Like, it makes you feel good inside, and it makes you, then that energy that comes out of you is that much more. Yeah. It's the right energy. Yep. Then absolutely, that money is well spent. Yep. Just like you said, if it's not a hell then it's a fuck no. But like, literally, that's what it is, because
I'm not trying to say that people need to like do money mantras and stuff like that. You should, but honestly, like I went through a long period of time of becoming a minimalist, and I'm not going to say that that was the best time of my life because it was very uncomfortable. It like for somebody that came from a like status quo family, and we had the flashy things.
Yeah.
So it was like to strip myself of those things because when I quit my job, I had to then dial myself back to, well, what do you actually need? Like, so
That's
you've been getting money every month and you've just been setting your stuff up to just be going to wherever it needs to go. But it's like at the same time, how much of that money actually just didn't need to go anywhere because it didn't even need to be spent? And, it was also funny because my car that I was spending so much money on a month, I had gotten into a car accident, and not only did I have to continue to pay for that car, but I was paying $1,000 a month for a Kia Soul. And I like that was another eye-opening thing for me because I'm like, no, people cannot have my money. Like I was, that was like, you have these like rebellious, just like moments of, no, actually you cannot have my money. Like you guys literally are going to make me keep paying on this car that I don't have. But then you guys tell me that I'm sitting here waiting on a part that is non-existent. It's 1 in a million for a car, and I can't release myself of this contract. So you're stuck in it. And then it's like, then I have to pay for this car, and it's way more than I was paying for my own vehicle. And like it, everything is just starting to not make sense to you. And so then you just go through a time period of like, I don't want any of it. Like, I don't want to ever be in a contract where somebody is telling me I have to do this when it doesn't even logically make sense. And it's like, it just puts you in a space of, you have a burnout in overproductivity because you're trying to keep up with stuff. And so I had literally went through a time period of releasing myself of all the things. I got rid of my apartment. The only thing I kept was my Jeep, because then I'm like, well, if I need to, I can live in here. And I took off. I went to Arizona in my Jeep. I literally went down to the bare minimum. I promise you I did. And I had learned how to roll my clothes up and fit them all in a container. And I'm like, now I'm off to the races. Like, I am so free right now that I can literally just do whatever I want. And all I have is this car payment. And I can do that. Like, there's so many things I can do to make sure that I can pay for my car payment. Yeah. And so then it's like, then I'm living my life like that. Like, being a minimalist, doing the bare minimum with myself. And I lived like that for probably 3 years before I was like, okay, actually this year was my first year of putting myself back into that structure. You asked me on the video, you said this was your year 4.
Yeah. Yes. What's
this is
your
year 4. This is my 4 month. And so basically what that meant for me was creating that structure that I need for myself. It's no more of just do whatever, like wing it, as we're doing here today. It's no more of winging it. Even though we're winging it, no, we set a date and time to meet today. Yes. It was very intentional. But I set it up for myself with, okay, I don't want to live a life of unknown uncertainty this year. My son deserves stability. My son deserves to literally have his own room, live a life. Like I created that want for myself, and I haven't had that for myself in a long time. Yeah. Like I was literally just doing, going with the flow. And in my 4th month, I said, okay, we're getting a new place. This is our place. This is our home. Everybody has their own space. We're expanding, and I'm deserving to expand. I'm deserving to take up space instead of being in a small box and being afraid. Because really, that's what it had turned into after a while, was being afraid to expand again. Because then it's like you don't want to lose control. You don't want to lose yourself and have all these hopes and things, and then they get taken away from you, or just whatever the case may be. But now I am creating that structure for myself and goal. Like, yes, so this is my place. And even my mom was like, "Can you even afford this? You haven't had a job." Like, she, because she doesn't understand how I've been living my life. But it's like, yes, the financial literacy aspect has been me being very intentional with the money that I have been receiving. And to other people, it's confusing because they have their 9 to 5 and they get paid every 2 weeks on this day. And so how can somebody with no job, I see this on social media all the time, how are the unemployed traveling? like how are people doing
like that needs to be our next topic, is I need you to explain that part to me.
But literally it's about setting yourself up and just being intentional with your money. I'm not spending everything that I'm receiving. And yes, I was soaking up all the money my mom wants to give me and, play the role of like, Mom, I need gas. Like, because why not? Your mom is here. You take advantage of your mom.
It's not even taking advantage. Like, as a mom of older kids, like, I love it when I can be like, oh, you need $20?
Yeah. Literally.
It makes us feel needed still, right? Like,
yes.
So we like that.
So, and my mom still will, like, oh, I found you something. Her thing is thrifting. She loves thrifting. I have been, like I said, I've been in a space of, I was a minimalist. I didn't have anything at all by choice. And so it's like, she would buy me stuff and I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, yeah, I'll take it. I don't really care. But it's how you do it is you literally release yourself from all the materialistic things, all the expectations. And so, yes, you're not spending your money on Amazon every week getting all these things for your house.
TikTok
shop. Like, no, literally you're wearing the same clothes from 10 years ago, and you're going to the store, you're getting the food that you need, and then that's it, and then you're building your credit. You're using credit cards, yes, but you're not spending way more money than you can pay off, And so you're just learning how to just come back to yourself and like, okay, what do I need right now to survive? And then that's it. And that is really hard. I'm going to be honest. It is really hard because the way that life is right now, you want to keep up with everybody else. You want to keep up with looks. And I was looking crazy for years. Nails were not done. And I wasn't even really shaving my legs or anything. Like, it was really stripping yourself and learning how to just be okay with that. And, it's so crazy because I still had my same partner through all of those phases. And so it's like he was right there with me going through all those things.
That's
and
special.
Also stripping himself of those things to where it's like, yeah, now this year we are claiming like this is our year of showing up and taking up space and not being afraid to do so. And that, to me, that's also just life cycles. Because I'm not saying that I wouldn't be a backpack minimalist again. I could definitely do that. Like, if my son got a little bit older and could understand more stuff, and I would definitely love to just take my son and just live in a trailer and just travel around and live at campgrounds and do things like that. But right now in my life, I need stability and structure, and he needs that too. And so we just owe it to ourselves to do that right now. And to be honest, I have been dabbling into like the numerology aspect of things because I think it's so cool, like how you can use these tools to really maximize yourself. And and really align, instead of just be lost and like, how come some days I feel like this and then other days I feel like this? And then you get to a point of a flow state. Like, yes, I'm going through my time, even as women, we have you go through your period, your winter season, your whatever you want to call them, women, we have so many seasons, but it's like you get to a point where you are self-aware and you flow. So you have your great days and you allow yourself to indulge in those great days and do everything that you need to do in those great days. And then when life slows down, you allow yourself to slow down.
Yeah.
You're not still trying to overproduce and burn yourself out, because that is when you're supposed to be still. That is when you're supposed to sit and just be present. And a lot of us struggle with that because we constantly are in hustle mode and survival mode, and you can't.
Yeah.
You literally can't.
If you stop, you think the whole world is just gonna, like, everything you've built so far is just gonna crumble if you don't continue to produce, or you're showing your worth by how much you can produce, and you think about like even like crops, right? The field needs time to rest. It can't always be producing. You've got to take a break. And so we're the same thing, right? We're made of the earth. We need a time of rest. And whether that's, even God needed a day of rest.
Yes.
Okay. If the man that creates everything needs a day to rest, I think we're allowed a day to rest.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah. And it really could be like 2-3 days, of rest. Yeah. And you don't have to feel bad for it. And sometimes I feel like we're always trying to make an excuse of, man, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I've been just wanting to rest for these past 3 days. Like, that's your body. Your body is talking to you and it's asking you to just let it be. And you should just honor it. And I know it's uncomfortable, but you really have to do it, or else things start to happen where, like you're getting sick. Or
I was just going to ask if you'd ever noticed like a time where you're like, oh, I just need to relax. And then all of a sudden you're sick and you have to rest. And it's like, okay, well, that was the universe trying to like ease into, yo, bro, you need a freaking break.
Yeah.
And then it was like, fine. You won't listen?
I will do it for you. I literally told my friend, because she was talking about her burnout from her job. And she texted me. She said, I got fired. I said, yeah. Usually the universe can be nice about it. And it will suggest, like, I'll let you walk out with dignity, or it will just grab you by the wig and then and take you out. And like, she laughed about it, but I'm not joking. That's literally how life will play you. And, there will be signs. And then you either can take those signs and be like, okay, let me just go ahead while I still can, or you will have to, you will be forced into those moments of, oh gosh, okay, like I gotta do the thing because I have no other choice. Yeah. So
you're sent to fulfill a contract. One way or another, you're gonna fulfill it. So it
will show up how it's supposed to.
Yep.
But also when you had said about the crops, that made me think about on Facebook, somebody was talking about, man, there used to be a time where you couldn't get strawberries because they were not in season. And they're like, but now all of a sudden I can get tasteless strawberries year round. And I was just laughing about that because I'm like, man, yes, I do miss that time in life where it was like we were not constantly being bombarded by things. It was like you had to wait. Like, yes, you can only get this for this season, and then now it's a new season. So now you got to focus on something else instead of just having that constant thing, because it's not even good for you. So it's like, I don't want to eat a tasteless strawberry. I want to eat the strawberries when they're good. I don't need them that bad that you give it to me all the time.
I think about pumpkin spice lattes. Okay, I love me some. And would it taste as good if I was getting it in summer?
No.
Probably not, right? If you have what you want always available to you, does it taste as good?
No, it doesn't. Because you need the balance. You need to appreciate it. Yeah.
Same with relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, if you are always there. They're always on top of you. You're going to the store together. You're doing all the running together. You know what?
Yeah.
Burnout.
Yep.
You have to be individuals. You have to take the time apart because you have to let the time show you why you want to be with that person. Why that is your person.
100%.
Yeah.
Because you have your own personalities. You have your own interests and things that you need to fulfill. And I know it's scary. A lot of us are very codependent. And it's like, I don't know how we break the world of the codependency. Because it's like people are extremists about that. It's like you're either codependent or you don't want to be around people at all. Or it's like there's no happy medium.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to create that space of where people learn how to be in a happy medium again.
Yes.
Because we need that. Like we need to even with the women at the table group, it's, I am someone that does like to be in isolation, but I know that too much isolation is not good for me. I do need to be in these spaces, and whether it's you create the space or not, like you go into somebody else's space, whatever the case may be. But I just found that, the space that I yearn for is harder to just jump into somebody else's space and be there because it's not entirely the space that I'm looking for. Because I always feel like in my life, I always wanted to fit into places that I don't necessarily fit into. And, it's about just claiming that and just being yourself 100% without having to be something that you're not and perform. You don't need to perform. Just show up how you are today and however you want to be tomorrow. And it's like, that is just it, like people have all these judgments, and I find, and I know this might be such a touchy topic, but, even people that are plant-based, we have the plant-based community, we have religious communities, all these different communities, and people are so judgmental within these spaces. And it's so confusing because it's like, I thought we're in this space for the better of ourselves and our communities, but it makes it worse.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you don't even realize you're causing more of a division within that space. Because then not only do we have the plant-based community, but you have the people that are vegan, the people that are vegetarian, the people that are pescatarian, the people that it's just nonstop labels.
Yeah.
It's nonstop labels.
Right.
And it's like, the thing about it is, my understanding is, it doesn't matter what you eat. Your body type is what your body type is, and that's what you need for yourself. Mm-hmm. All the food is bad for us at this point.
Right.
All the food is bad for us, and you will have karma regardless if you are eating the plants, those are living organisms, or if you're eating actual livestock that are living organisms. Mm-hmm. It's the same. So it's literally like, okay, yes, if people are finding that there's cancer in red meats and stuff of that nature, then okay, now you shop with someone that is a trusted, known individual that you can source your meat from. But, not everybody can survive off of a plant-based diet. That we're all created differently. So to make someone feel bad because their body needs meat,
I have a story for you on that.
Their body needs meat is like, it doesn't make sense. And then to not accept them in the community, or, it's just such a bashful space that I'm like, it's like a turnoff for me to be in those spaces. Yeah. Like, I don't even care. Eat what you want to eat as long as you are happy. It's not just emotional eating. It's not, you just operating out of a space of scarcity or anything like that. You're just being yourself.
Yeah. Everybody's choice of whatever they want to do for their own body is their own choice.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't impact us.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
literally at all.
Yeah.
If she sat here and ate a turkey leg, I'd be like, cool. Like, does it taste good? Or like, did you get it grilled today? I don't know. And if I sat here and ate my non-dairy ice cream, she'd probably just be like, okay.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter.
No.
And, you know, same with all the stuff, like the political stuff that's going on in the world, too. The funny thing is, I did see this girl's post the other day that was like, I hate a neutral ass bitch or something like that. She's like, pick a side, hoe. And I was laughing because I'm like, although I am a neutral space person, that is funny to me. I don't take offense.
No. And I mean, it's not a
stuff.
side.
Yeah.
I
did take a side. But it's like, people don't understand that this is not our fight. Nothing is our fight in this life. Stuff is constantly created for us to, like, it's like fear mongering, and it's to get the pot stirred up and to keep everybody just at this all-time high, like, arousal of stress and anxiety and like desensitizing.
Yeah.
And that is why I created my space of neutrality, because I'm not saying I don't pay attention to what is going on, but at the same time, stuff that is on social media and TV are all like, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Because I do know that, yes, some of these things can be going on in the world, but I also know that sometimes stuff is fabricated and things are created to create a perspective to then get the people to be like, oh my gosh, you know, like the main thing that's been going on right now is that issue that's in Minnesota. I pay attention. I know that it's happening, but I have not made a response because, for one, I don't need to. I don't need to make a response because, honestly, when life is presented to you in real time, you react in real time. I'm not in Minnesota. Me making a post on Facebook is not going to bring the woman back to life. And it's also not going to do anything to the person that did it, you know, from ICE. So it's like, again, being in a neutral standpoint is knowing that being emotionally intelligent, you don't have to respond to anything. But maybe if I was standing right there in that moment to be like, oh, is there something that I can do to neutralize the threats across the board? Then yes, I would do that. But I wasn't there. I'm not there. And unfortunately, there's nothing that I could do in my efforts that is going to change anything. Because the woman still lost her life. And like, all I would be doing is speaking on two strangers. And that does nothing.
Yeah, and something that you saw from whatever angle the view was,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
depends on which one you saw.
Yeah, depending on whatever, you know, oh, we left out the fact is all I see here. Oh, we left out, you know, it's whichever. And I think it's funny, the politics of the world and the fear that they want. If you think about that in an energetic type of field, when the world's energy is down and we're living in fear and we're living in anxiety and we're very pressed down, then we can be controlled.
Yep.
So I'm with you. I understand that there are terrible things in the world. I understand. But I also believe that whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And that might look different. So we have our president. If we would have gotten the other president, what would have happened? Likely the same thing.
Same thing.
It would have looked different in how we came to the end of our 4 years.
Yeah.
But the things that needed to happen would have happened.
Yep.
It's just, if you look at even some of the things that happened before with the prior president, they, in a roundabout way, even though it looks so bad, right, and everybody had so much to say about it, if you look at the backside of it and what actually came out of it, it was beneficial for the world.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to think about the news that we're fed, right? It used to be, you know, I sit at my table and I have to read a newspaper.
Yeah.
I can't see it on social media. I can't see it on the TV. And not everything is being thrown into my face. And now they've realized, and when I say they, I mean like the political side of things, the news side of things, even people who want all of America's control, they've realized, oh, if we keep them in a state of fear, if we keep them anxious about the world, they won't go live and think for themselves.
Yes.
Instead, they'll stay lower level.
Yeah.
And they'll never rise above, because honestly, what they don't want is for all of us to get together and go, why are we doing this?
Like, what?
We can overtake them.
Yeah.
So like, the neutrality piece is good.
Yes.
But we want to shift to how do we bring more people to it?
Yep.
Because your neutral state is where you can actually make an impact and you can make things better.
Yes. Because it's not a neutral state of, oh, I didn't vote, like because there's a difference. There are people that they just stand in the middle and they just look like, I don't know, but I'm not talking about that space.
The blinders.
I'm talking about the space of, you don't care who is doing what, because you are taking ownership of what you have going on in your reality. And like, I had this debate because I'm an unvaxxed mom, and I usually don't respond to people when they say stuff on social media, because to me, I'm like, this is such a stupid conversation. Like, people are so ignorant to the fact that, they want it to be something so bad. They want it to be this or that. And it's like, the crazy thing is, it's neither. And even as me being an unvaxxed mom, I don't sit here and talk about what moms need to be doing that have their kids in school and their kids are vaccinated and they need to watch out for these things. I never speak on those things because I don't care. You made the decision that was best for you and what you have to do for yourself.
Your family. Yep.
And it's like, for me, my thing is, I am homeschooling my son. I'm taking care of my son. I am the one that gives him herbal remedies. Like, I make that my full-time job to care for everything that pertains to my son.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's just it. And like, people spend so much time on, well, it's either this or it's this, and it's this person's problem. They're the issue.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, well, when you show them a fact of when it was them, then they're like, no, it can't. Like, it can't be that. No, where'd you, like, you guys are sharing false facts. And it's like, no, because you need to understand that more than one thing can be true.
Mm-hmm.
Your child can be vaccinated. Like, I tell my mom, prime example, my mom got a COVID shot. I didn't. My mom has gotten COVID and has been sick numerous times. And now she's having issues with her heart, versus I haven't had it. And I don't have any issues, but I'm not sitting here blaming her or, getting upset with her. I'm like, so what is our solution? How can we help you? Yeah. Because obviously your body is not responding well to this vaccination. And it doesn't mean that it didn't help somebody else. It might as well, I can't even talk. It may have well helped someone else that got it, but everything is individually put for somebody. So my mom probably should not have got the vaccination because it's not helping her body. But since the world pushed that on to be like, this is what everybody needs, this is a solution, then we're seeing how it's trickling down to like, oh, actually, this probably wasn't the solution for everybody. But to me, I'm like, well, yeah, it's population control. So like, that's my mind, but I don't place blame on anybody. I don't. You make your decision. That's okay, and you move on from that. But it is just, it just sucks because we are in a time where we need everybody to truly waken up to. Yeah, we need the emotional intelligence piece of, we got to stop blaming everybody, and we have to just stand in the middle, see both sides for what they are. Because I'm going to be honest, it doesn't matter if you're red or blue, they actually work under the same entity. They work under the same entity. So it doesn't even matter what the last president did, because this president is under the same control as the last president was. Like, they're not their own selves making these decisions. It's just, they're all one corporation. But unfortunately, we, for some reason, are divided into thinking it's this one or it's this one.
Yeah, and that's their goal.
Yes,
that is the goal. Divided, because if you ever have a united community of people,
we are stronger.
We could take them over, and I think they know that. Stronger. Right? So it's like, no, let's keep them divided.
Yeah, let's ruffle some feathers and keep them fighting, because literally all the stuff that people are afraid of we could literally have co-ops, right? We have moms like myself that we could literally start a homeschool to the moms that are so stressed about all these things. They don't want their kid out of school and they're afraid of school shootings. Send your kid to a co-op. Send your kid to a mom that homeschools. Like, literally start going back into your community. Like, people forget where we came from and they are afraid to go back. You just go back to your roots of everything. You start the barter system. You know, some people are good at growing certain things. You have farmers that are selling to just regular people. You can literally go to your local farm or travel to someone that has the supply. You start getting stuff from them. Like, you just have to start going back to the community and learning how to work together more than ever. That is literally all that we're supposed to do right now. And when people want to come down from all the energy,
it's just noise.
It is just noise, and we will realize that we had the answers all along. Like, when we can just come together and be okay. Like, we could all just stop paying our rent too. Like, we could all just stop paying our bills. We could just all stop caring. We literally could. And it's like, if we all did that, then what can they do? They can't do anything. But it's the fact that we allow them to control our minds, and so now we're stuck.
It's so funny you mentioned the school thing. So my, I don't, you know, that burning inside of you that's like, this is what I'm supposed to do, but I have no clue how to make that happen.
Yeah.
It's to start a school.
Yeah.
That is my, I want a school where have you ever heard of unschooling?
Yes.
So it would be that type of school where it's the people who believe that kind of stuff, where my kids, so I've got 5 kids.
Yeah.
And my oldest is going to be 30 this year, and then my youngest is 16. So I have a spread, right? My 16-year-old is learning the same thing that my 30-year-old learned, that I learned.
Yeah.
And it's the times have changed. Mm-hmm. Our world looks different, but we're teaching our kids to stay in the same box, because then, just like we're talking about, we can then control those kids.
Yes.
And so, the school idea is just
it would be awesome.
It's what I want.
It would be awesome. No, seriously, because it's imagine that we're actually teaching our kids the stuff that matters. Yeah. Just like how I talked about in the beginning. I couldn't tell you half of the stuff I learned in school because it didn't matter. Yeah. But it's imagine we actually learn about buying houses and taxes and the real way of eating healthy and balanced diets.
The school would live on or be built on land. Yeah. Because then we would teach the kids.
You can go outside, grow food.
Yeah. And that's how you turn around then and feed your kids.
Imagine they learn how to be self-sustaining human beings. Yeah. And then they are financially literate. So then they come into this world, and because I don't know what is going on with people right now, and all the stuff that, everything is a contest of stuff that doesn't matter, right? And, how we can appear in the world when it's the real wealth is being abundant in your food resourcing and, the generational wealth that you're building for your family and your community, and having that community to be able to share with. That's the real abundance, and I don't know how things got twisted to be abundance is strictly only money, because money doesn't have any value unless you give it any value.
You can buy everything, but guess what? You don't need money to buy everything.
Yeah.
Because you can grow your own.
Yeah.
I mean, I can buy a packet of seeds that's 97 cents. Yeah. And I could feed us. Yeah. Am I gonna love it? Is it a variety? No. We've been told so many times in our food, I've seen you post a couple times, what's for dinner? Okay, I stopped about a year ago. My family every night came to me, and I'm I am not the keeper of the food. Yeah. It's all right there. Yep. Go for it. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want is what's for dinner. Yeah. I'm not, it doesn't have to come to me. Yeah. And so I think we've been shown food has to, it has to taste so amazing. It has to be different every night. It has to be all these things. And it's no, really, it needs to nourish your body. Yep. So from my 97 cent packet of seeds, I could grow.
Yes, you could.
I can make my own.
And it's even if maybe you have one thing in particular, me, I tell myself, well, in my household, we use a lot of onions, potatoes, like sweet potatoes, ginger. So that would be my core of things where I want to grow this myself. Because if this is something I'm constantly buying, then yeah, you should invest your time into growing it. But at the same time, you could just simply go to someone else that grows those things and you can exchange with something that you actually are interested in doing, instead of forcing it upon yourself to like something that you don't like. You can literally exchange other things with people and it would be just fine. But and that's another thing too. We don't have to eat 3 meals a day. Like we are just literally overdoing it with ourselves, as far as the food part goes. And it's like you only need food for what you need it for. You don't need to go grocery shopping for 5 different meals that you think that you're going to make on Sunday while you're planning. And then as the week goes by,
that broccoli just spoils in the
spoils, and then you're like, oh, now I got to just throw it away. It's wasteful.
Yeah.
That's wasteful. Like literally go to the store the day of, get what you need. And I personally, I've been shopping more at like international marketplaces because it just feels better. Like it just feels more livelier going in there. Food spoils faster. So it's like, yeah, I have no choice but to get what I actually need. Because if I sit here and buy an abundance of all this stuff, it's going to spoil in like 3 days. And now I'm more conscious about that because I'm like, oh, well, if I'm going to be wasteful to food, I throw it outside. Like, I throw it outside because I'm like, at least if I get it back to the earth,
I like that.
Then I'm not being wasteful because it's going back to the earth instead of me just physically throwing it in the trash. But I'm not encouraging people to go buy food and then just throw it outside and that saves you. But it's like, if it comes down to it and like, yes, you have fruit and vegetables that are rotting, then yes, just put it back outside and don't throw it in the trash.
Or if you know you're not going to use it, take it to your neighbor.
Take it to your neighbor and take it to those community kitchens. Like I've been doing that a lot too, where I just go take my food to those pantries and even leftovers. If you have dinner or stuff that you made, and my family is not a huge like leftover family. So it's like, instead of throwing that away, go take it to the pantry. Somebody will eat it. And that's just how we learn how to get back with our community of people.
It's taking that step and being open to, I think it's so funny because I say take it to your neighbor. If I went to my neighbor's house with some food, she'd be like, who are you? You're right. It's like, I haven't even done this for myself. But it's like, I think there's a group of people that as we start to feel comfortable with making the community, we're going to be met with some weird looks. Some like, why are you doing this? Why are you here? Why are you bothering me? Why are you on my footsteps? And we've gotten to a place in the world where people are very skittish around help. Wait, why are you helping me? What do you want? I don't have anything to give you. No, I'm just like here. You
don't have to give me anything.
I'm just here to help. And that is such a foreign concept anymore that it's so weird. And like that, in my mind, is like the first step. How do we change? How do we shift? How do we say it's okay to just help? It's okay to take help, right?
And you don't have to give anything back. Like, I'm not saying that, because there are people that are like leeches and they just constantly take, and you'll be able to identify that. But it's like literally like when you go out to the community, because I am one of those people where if I see a homeless man on the side of the road with one of those signs, sometimes I will say I do not try to make eye contact. Right. I'm like, man, you guys are like at every street corner. But honestly, like those days where you have your discernment and you're like, I'm in a giving mood, just give, right? And then you don't even have to worry about any of that, because I tell myself like any money that I give comes back to me tenfold. And so I'm willing to just give it. But yeah, you don't have to stress yourself about like, oh my gosh, every time you see a homeless person, you have to give them money.
No,
you do.
I check in with myself. God, am I supposed to help this person? No? Okay, I'll keep driving.
Yeah, because it's
Like
like,
there are sometimes it's like there was a couple, I think it was up in Ankeny, and it was like a man and a woman, and I think there was even a child there, and it was like I drove by them without thinking about it, and all of a sudden it was like, you need to get them money.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right. Like I listen when that happens because
Yep.
I feel like then I'm that person.
Yep.
Right? We are used. Every one of us is used in a way to make the world different, right? To help the person who asked for the help. Yes, I believe in the angels. Yes, I believe in God. Yes, I believe in all those things. But sometimes they're not here to help.
Yeah.
Sometimes they like an angel can't come down and hand you money, but I as an angel could make Jessica go do that. And so it's like when those things hit you, pay attention to them, because there are the times that you don't. I always feel like, oh, and I think about it later too. I'm like, why am I still thinking about that? I was like, because you didn't freaking listen.
Yeah.
I told you, I needed you.
Mm-hmm.
And now they will go to the angels will go to the next person who used it. But it weighs on you, right? And it feels good, and take that feel good.
Yes.
I think some people are like, oh, I should, I was just doing my duty. I shouldn't feel good.
My good deed for the day.
Feel good about that shit.
Yeah.
Good.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
You should feel good about it. I don't know, because I'm trying to explain the feeling that you feel from that, but it like gives you some type of just like catapult for the rest of the day.
Vibration.
Yeah. That it literally just does that, and so it's like for the rest of the day, then you start to attract just like all this good energy all of a sudden, and you really want to hold on to that.
Yes.
Honestly, you do. Versus like when you drive past someone and then you have that thought like, oh yeah, I should have gave him money, and then like the rest of your day is kind of like, you know, like you just spend the rest of your day in an mood because it's like you missed your opportunity to raise your vibration. But not saying you can't raise your vibration another way, but you kind of do tend to get stuck in that mode. Yeah. So just listen to yourself the first time.
Yep. Yeah. Don't question it. When you're hearing that, I mean, we say voice, but it's like that knowing, right? When you have the knowing, do it.
Do it. Do the thing.
Just do it.
do the thing.
If you can do the thing, do the thing.
Yeah.
We were like 2 hours almost.
We did the thing. We did the thing.
We did a lot of things
for 2 hours, and honestly, I think that like in the future we want to like open this up to have more people, want to sit and connect with us, because we can even just do this online too, or we're all just sitting on StreamYard or wherever we are and just having a cosmic tea time, talking and sharing space. But we really just wanted to come on here today and like just open that up to people and just show them where we're coming from for the most part, but also just to bring awareness to what we're trying to do here, so that everybody can stop wanting to just be in isolation and not share their gifts and what they're doing for the greater good. So I think this was a great talk, and it was a little nerve-wracking at first, and we didn't really have it together with how we were going to record and what platform we wanted to record on. But I do definitely feel good from what we have done today. So it was nice connecting with you most of all, but sharing with you guys in our space. And honestly, like if you guys ever wanted to come and share space with Jessica, she has a wonderful space in here. It's very comfortable, and you can always collaborate with us in those ways too, because we love partnerships. We love building other businesses and just helping each other elevate in this life as we are supposed to. So yes, and we also have an event that's coming up this Sunday. It's going to be our meditative sound bath. I do have a ticket left for someone. That one is going to be like a smaller, intimate space, and that one's going to be 4 to 7:30. If anybody is interested in getting a last-minute spot there. But outside of that, we do have another event that's coming up February 15th and that's going to be a waist bead do-it-yourself workshop. And we're going to have Hazel Grace joining us to walk us through how to make some waist beads. And we're going to have a nice big brunch and some mimosas. But also, if you're not into that kind of thing, you can just drink juice. It's okay. But yeah, we're hoping that we can start to help people come into these spaces and just feel more comfortable to unleash themselves. So yeah.
Yay.
Until next